Hello everybody and welcome to another Transformers third-party review. Sorry I've been a bit scarce on the scene with these reviews lately. I've been doing my documentary for university, so I've been trying to get that done, as well as an essay, and as well as planning for a small film for uni as well. So it's a little bit busy, but this guy turned up on my doorstep. It is the 86 MX-XXX Securitron Interceptor FUZZ, aka a masterpiece version of the Protectobot Streetwise. Quick look around the box. We've got some info on Streetwise there. We've got that lovely artwork on there teasing some of their toy versions of the characters. Again, Spinaroonie. There we go. We have got their next product, which is their version of Groove. I've heard that the motorcycle mode for that is sublime. Haven't seen it myself yet, but looking forward to checking that out. But we're here to talk about FUZZ, so let's crack him open. And this is what we get in the package. We get a rather large instruction manual, we get his collector's card, we get a weapon. I've still got the plastic on mine, that's his blaster there. Get these alternative face sculpts. And this one here, I'll put up his animation cell alongside these so you can decide which one you think is probably the most accurate. I quite like the one that's already on him. Now with him on the turntable, there's certainly a few design choices I'm not exactly au par with. I'll cover those when we take a closer look at him, but he's noticeably very similar to his animation counterpart. There's something X-Trans always manages to do. They manage to capture a really good kind of cell likeness in the robot mode and give us a very convincing vehicle mode at the same time. I love the use of colors. I love that it's not just a pristine white, it's very kind of off white, almost aged in color. I like the way that they've incorporated a great use of die cast. There's a really nice mix there of die cast and plastic. Now of course we know that weight and die cast doesn't necessarily make the figure, but it does make this one feel a lot more robust in hand and a lot sturdier. There's certain points on this I'm still not entirely comfortable when handling, but as a general rule of thumb he's quite a robust piece, and the fear of breakage is slight. Right, now as handsome as he looks, and he is a very handsome looking figure, let's question some of these design choices. Firstly, I would like the neck to have been more central so that the head doesn't look as far forward from certain angles. Majority of the time it looks very in proportion and works exceptionally well, but if you catch it for the wrong angle, it does look like his head is right the way forward on that chest. I don't think it's helped by the backpack. I mean, it tidies away nicely and it's quite slim, but it just doesn't peg at the top section here. And I think if it did, it may just kind of fill in that void and make that look a little bit more natural. Another design choice, the small ball sockets on these shoulders. I like the fact we've got this hinge section here that we can move around. It's all part of the transformation. This doesn't really move any further than that because it locks here, but we just have a really slight ball on these shoulders, and in my opinion it just looks slightly off. I would have liked a ratchet or something in there. I guess there's no fear of anything getting damaged on that hinge. It does what it needs to, and of course we do then have the ability to bring this butterfly joint forwards and backwards, but as a joint itself, it's not the most aesthetically pleasing, having that small ball socket on there. From this angle, it doesn't look too bad, but I think they sit slightly too low, making his neck look a little bit longer than I would like. And my third, and really kind of my final gripe for how he looks, is not necessarily aesthetic-wise, it's more practicality. I like my ratchet joints. There's no ratchets in these legs. I would like some ratchets, especially considering the weight of these thighs and these feet, I would like some ratchet joints on these here. But other than that, I mean, it holds the joint, they're nice and tight, but I really would have liked just that little bit of extra. But at the same time, the fact that we don't have ratchets mean we can get really natural poses on these legs. And I still prefer how this guy looks to the MMC one. MMC are doing a really good job with theirs at the moment, but they are just too small. In my opinion, they look the part, and I love the fact that they combine using all of their integrated pieces, but they just look too small for me, and this guy fits perfectly in with my masterpiece collection. I mean, what's not to love? We really do need more kind of season 3 and season 4 bots. It's a little bit thin on the ground. I still need to get the rest of those Junkions as well, the KFC Junkions. I think they'd look really nice, kind of scattered all the way in the background there. And then we can have the likes of the Protectobots alongside their comrades. That works for me. And then we have a nice little ocean decal on there as well. I put a big one on there because they do look quite large on their cell image. I think that one works. I think that's slightly off center. Oh well, that'll do for me. He definitely looks the part. Right, articulation wise, head can go up and down. We can go left and we can go right. So no quizzical tilting because it's all on hinges. We have that motion here. It can come up. Got a little bit of a butterfly joint there as mentioned. We do have double bend on the elbow and a rotation here. So we've got 1 and 2. So we can bring the arms up fairly high. We have rotation on the wrist. We have 1 and 2. So the hands can really open up. My hand doesn't really grip the gun very well. It doesn't slide perfectly into that groove. I mean, it's not going anywhere because the hands really do wrap all the way around it. But that being said, it should really kind of slot in there a little bit better than what it does. Waist can rotate. Got an abdominal crunch there, albeit a little bit loose. It's still an abdominal crunch. No pivot side to side on the waist though. Already covered the legs. They can come out as the upper thigh rotation in there as well. We do have a bend on that knee at 2 points. Really stiff joint on those knees. And coming down to the feet, we have pivot up and down, left and right there. Pretty much what we've seen on the Stunticons, kind of reused for his feet. He looks very serious, doesn't he? Very stern looking fellow. Now, before we get him transformed up, let's just cover some of the extras. You can pop this red piece off the head from the front and the back like so, which allows us to access the front of the head. That's how we can pull those face plates off and switch those out. Let's switch it out for the other kind of animation style head, and then pop this back on like so. And the back here, this is how you access the batteries. That's where you just flip this piece here up, and I believe it's 3 times LR5 2 1s we need for this. So you pop this piece up and we put the batteries in, and we'll cover that when we get him transformed into his vehicle mode. But let's remove. Here's weapons. Come to these arms. Starting with these, you want to unplug this wrist panel. That's going to come down. You've got these panels that are embedded in the forearms. Those are going to come out on that extending hinge, and that's going to rotate around, expand from the underside here, and then come around and plug in. Those are going to form the front of the vehicle. This panel here is going to expand on this hinge here, bringing that out to the front, and as it does, this is going to come down like so. There's this hinge just here move that up. That's a die cast hinge, I think, or is that just a thick plastic? Either way, it does what it needs to and allows this to then come around like so. This panel here is going to flip up. This is then going to rock down like this. In you go, into the void, into the unknown. And then this is going to close like this. There we go. Make sure that is fully down. As you can see, my backpack is already dropped down there. I didn't put the peg back up. There's a small peg here which normally plugs in here. Let's make sure that that peg comes untabbed from here, and that should then just completely drop. This shoulder tab joint actually just untabs slightly from this chest panel as well. So you want to pull that apart like so. The chest can then come untabbed like so, and the head is going to collapse backwards like this from this angle here. These are going to come up, and again on this side just bring this up like this, and as you see there, this section comes out and it's buried on the underside of this panel. So we can then move this piece up and around, hiding that Autobot insignia under these shoulders. Bring this hinge out like so, and then that's going to rotate down. So we've got these shoulders here. You can then bring these tabs up and to the sides of that bonnet piece, tabbing in and making sure that this black plastic tab is clear of this hook hinge. I'm going to rotate these back around, so this is now on the bottom, and then this is the steering wheel, so that can come back up, and this comes down to the side like this. So we're left with something that looks like this at the moment. Helps when you've got the insignia on as well, so you know that it's the upside down. Right, I'll try and break these arms down as easy as we can, okay, because they are a little bit confusing. Right, the idea is to move this panel around and bring this piece up. So that comes all the way around like this. So we now got a void on the inside there. This hinge here rotated around, and bring this up so it's at that angle like so. This is then going to flip up like so, so that when we flip this piece over, there's now a void on the underside for this piece to come up. That'll come over here like this, and as you can see, there's this gap here. I'm just going to slot in between those gaps, and then there's this tab here that's going to tab in on this panel here. So it's just a matter of lining everything up now. Let's just move those hands out of the way, because these are going to tab together as well and hold in securely. Oh, there we go. They're in, and this is going to tab in on here. Come on. So once they're tucked in, we've got this hinge at a right angle like this. This is what it's meant to look like. The hands just drop down into these voids to keep them out of the way. And looking at it from this side, you want to be aiming for the hinges to be as straight as possible so it all plugs in. And these panel pieces facing upwards, that's going to give us the most space on the underside, but it really does hold in nicely once they're all tabbed in together. It's just a matter of angling them correctly so they do tab in together. Tackling the feet, I'm going to bring this piece up so they join in together. The door panel is going to open, and you want to actually open the door as well, which allows us to open up the window panel, bring the side view mirror down as well. This comes up. This is going to come in and down. This panel here flips up. This compresses underneath and then comes back in like so. The door is going to close, and then this seat should, he says, come around, flip up into position like this. They're nice seats. I like those. Then want to straighten up these legs, and you want to bend this hinge here so that you're bending that ratcheted joint all the way over so it's straight. And then when you bend this knee panel over, there's this tab just on top here. That's going to allow this piece here to tab in. So we're going to bend on that secondary joint now. So that's going to come in, and it's just a matter of sliding everything into position. So we're going to line that one up. These come over the outside. Like so. And that's going to slide and tab in on there. And this just needs to tab in on there. Like this. And like this. This is going to tab in, this is going to tab in. And then it's a matter of making this roof panel line up now, because we've got these faux panels here which formed the legs originally. Make sure that the windscreen lines up. Come on. There we go, and there we go, they're lined up. It's going to tab in, that's to tab in, that tabs in. And then bring this panel out. This is going to come all the way down. This flips around. He says, come on. Ooh. Like so. And up. This is going to come down. And then this will come into the back here. And you see those tabs just on the rear. They'll tab in at 2 points. Like this and like this. And then this is going to go and should, he says, all tab in. There we go. Same on this side, just make sure this is up. Out. Oh, there we go. Make sure everything is tabbed in as it should be. That's a solid piece of kit, that is. That's what it looks like on the underside. These tab in at the back. These are tabbed in here. There you go. If we look underneath there, there's a peg kind of here and here. That allows us to slide the gun in. It's a little bit tricky. Come on, I managed to get it in just offset. There we go. So the gun stores nicely underneath. And here we have them alongside some of the other Masterpiece style vehicles. If somebody else have problems with these batteries, I buy them in bulk and they never seem to work. It always seems to be these really small 521s. They're just useless. I've got it all wired in and it doesn't work at all, which is a shame because obviously it's meant to flash. But I'm going to be honest with you, I would prefer a lower profile light system and no battery function. That's my personal opinion, but rolls nicely, looks the part, gorgeous little piece. Transformation was yeah. Just once you've got the arms lined up, it's just literally it. That is literally the issue, which is getting those arms lined up. But if you make sure that you twist it where I twisted it, and make sure that things just peg in as they should and look like that, everything will kind of follow suit. And it definitely does look the part indeed. Really looking forward to seeing what else they do. I know we've got other figures coming soon. They're tackling some really random bots as well, which is fantastic. I don't like it when they all do the same sort of thing. So keep up what you're doing. Make sure you also check out Bobby Skullface's video of this guy. He's had him recently as well, so we had a good play with it. And until next time, from myself and the rest of the Collectables household, thank you all very much for watching. Goodbye.